Brand new microwave installed, but you don't yet have an outlet involved, stick around, we're gonna get right to it. So there's a couple different considerations. Generally, you want to go the shortest path possible to your main circuit breaker, your panel box. In this case, we do have an unfinished basement directly beneath us, so we are going to go through the wall, down into the basement, over, and that'll be the shortest route. We are behind the range, nobody will actually see it. We're going to cut out a small exploratory hole. We found out there is a stud here. We're going to do a hole here so we can drop that new electric wire down, drill through the bottom plate and right into our basement.
When cutting a hole into the wall, I do prefer the hand saw. It gives you more control over electric saw so you don't hit a wire or nick a water pipe.
So our stud again is in the center. As long as we drill from there to the right, we have about 15 inches of clear span that will be right into the wall cavity so we can drop our wire down.
Here we attempted to push the Romex wire through the wall, down through the wall to the basement. It ended up getting snagged several times. We eventually gave up and found a fish tape. This electric push rod tool is invaluable. Simply connect your electric Romex wire to the fish tape and you can push or pull in either direction. Once the wire was into the basement, it was an easy matter of grabbing it and pulling it the direction we needed to go. Your electrical box needs a strain relief clamp. This is what it looks like in the back of the box. The strain relief clamp simply screws into the back of your work box, and then we're going to level the electric box and screw it right into the cabinet. You can cut out the back of the cabinet and do an inset electrical box if you'd like, but that is more cutting and more mess, and you run the risk of hitting something you don't want to hit. So here we just decided to do a flush mounted box in the upper cabinet. This is a commercial grade electrical outlet. You can use a 15 or 20 amp as you want. This is the strip gauge to show you how much wire insulator to strip off. For this microwave outlet install, we're using a 20 amp circuit. That's a yellow Romex wire 20 amp circuit, and you can use a 15 or 20 amp outlet. They pair up just fine, although we purchased the better commercial grade outlet, better connections, heavier duty, easier for side wiring. Going into a metal box, it's good practice to tape the electrical screws and connectors on the side so there's no short circuiting on the side of the metal box. Here in the basement, we're going to drill through the joist and run the Romex wire right in the center of the floor joist. That is best practice. As there were some heating ducts in our way and we're very close to the electrical panel, it was easy just to go under the joist. Do remember to do your wire staples every few feet and within a few inches of the electrical panel. With the main power being turned off, you simply knock out the closest location to the main panel, bring your Romex wire in. Do remember to use your strain relief clamp. That clamp is required when going into the main panel box. With the wire securely in place, you're going to simply cut away the insulator, trim it back to within 1/4 inch of the box. You do want to keep the circuit breaker somewhat balanced as far as how many breakers are on the left and the right of the panel. This is a Square D Homeline series circuit breaker. The copper wire will connect to the copper bus bar. In some cases, your bus bar for copper and the neutral white wires will be bonded together. It is best practice to only have one wire per screw on the bus bar, the copper ground wire, the neutral bus bar for the white wire, and the black wire going into the circuit breaker. The bottom's always going first and then they snap in. You want to keep your panel level, kind of like if you had too many on the left and on it, you want to balance it. So, yeah, so that bottom will lock in right there. And then you just smack it in that groove. There you go. As long as it feels tight, it didn't knock any of its neighbors out of position, should be good. So that's an installed breaker and you're ready to measure up for your black wire. With everything tight and secure and the cover panel back in place, turn on the circuit breaker and use your electrical tester to check your new outlet. Here everything tests correctly. 2 lights to the right in this tester means that the outlet is wired correctly.
All right, brand new outlet installed, microwave working perfectly. I bet you can do it yourself.